This is Matthew McConaughey,
Natalie Portman.
James Patterson,
Michael Ian Black
and you are listening to
Five questions.
with Dan
Schawbel.
Ashley, welcome to Five Questions.
I'm excited to be here.
What was it like meeting your manager, auditioning and filming so many TV commercials starting at the age of 3?
It was wild. I can't really remember. I was 3 years old. But I'm very grateful because I am where I am because of that.
I would say I don't think I've ever interviewed someone who started that early. I usually hear maybe 6 or 8 years old.
Yeah.
I wonder.
I have to say, I actually was casted in so many food commercials. That was my thing. I love to eat. So
Your parents were like, "Oh, we know she's a big eater, so
yeah,
this
they were
could be
like,
it."
she loves to eat food.
Or maybe there was just such a demand for pushing food or something back then.
I don't know. I just my mom always said everyone thought I had a great bite and react. And so like, that's hilarious.
That is pretty funny. How have you been able to reinvent yourself between being a TV star, recording artist, and launching brands?
I think that I'm always into, I don't know, I think for me, I just love being creative. And so whether I'm creative in music or creative, as an actor or creative in my brands, I get that same kind of fulfillment from it. And so, or I love being creative also in interior design now. So I think I'm just a creative person. And I think that I'm always inspired by so many different things and always evolving and changing. I don't look at kind of being like, oh, this is going to reinvent me. I think I just follow my heart and my passion and see where it goes.
Yeah, and it seems like you've been able to kind of capitalize and create things, and these are all different outlets for you. And so,
Yeah, no, it's been pretty amazing. I mean, I think social media has really allowed us to do that. And in the last couple of years, I really have stepped into more of a founder role with my company, Frenchie, and my product line at Target being Frenchie. So it's been such a different, it's just so different from acting, but I really do love it. And have such a different skill set now because of it.
well, both require a lot of creativity and work ethic, that's for sure. And
Yes.
rejection is like pretty much a standard when it
Yes.
comes to
Yes.
entrepreneurship and, getting cast in different parts.
For sure. Definitely. I think that everything is always a learning experience that is guiding you to like what you're meant to do.
How has your experience eating plant-based foods improved your wellness? And why are some people giving up this diet?
For me, I tried being vegan a couple of years ago and I was like fully committed because of what it stands for. Health wise, I wasn't able to continue. I'm the type of blood type that needs to have meat in my diet. But I still committed to doing like either sometimes it's twice a week or once a week, just fully plant-based meals. I just feel better in general. Like I feel less tired after meals. I feel like my gut is really healthy and great. I also think that I just personally approach it with a more I don't know, I just like eating more plant-based if I could. And I think that it's something that I've loved to continue to do. And I really hope that people, for me, why I'm collaborating with Sweet Earth is because, first of all, they're super flavorful and they're amazing. I've been eating their stuff for a long time. And I think that it's super easy for someone who is not like a huge, cook in the kitchen. But I think that, it's really about balance and moderation is how I approach wellness versus, being one way or the other. Like, I don't think that, I think from my experience, the reason why I launched Frenchie was because I feel like we're being taught like, okay, it's either non-toxic everything or not. And that's just a very expensive lifestyle. And so how I approach it is that it's all about balance and moderation. And like, I'm still going to love, a makeup item that is not the cleanest, but I also, tend to have more clean candles now. And I just approach it in more of a moderation and balance kind of way. And so I hope that I'm not like a huge fan of like specific diets. I always look at it as like a lifestyle change, and hopefully with spreading awareness about Sweet Earth and how good it is, people will maybe pick it up and try it. And maybe who haven't even tried a plant-based meal, and be surprised. And so hopefully it helps them in their wellness journey and surprises them.
It's amazing how much things have changed. Like growing up, mental health wasn't a thing. Like,
I know.
Dieting or understanding like what we're actually eating. No one was really
What's
talking
in our
about that. Like
products.
I was having like fast food, McDonald's, Burger King, and the like when I was growing up. I had no idea it was hurting me or it was bad for me. And
I know our parents didn't either. So
no, I feel like this generation, with all the kind of information that's online and being shared, like you were saying on social media, like we're a little bit more aware and kind of willing to try. I mean, you're seeing right now, which is really fascinating. I don't know if you've been reading this, but there's been a lot of a kind of a backlash against alcohol for this generation, because they're saying, hey, we want to have, like you were saying, this like healthier lifestyle. And it's not saying like you can't have alcohol, but the fact that these big alcohol is struggling to get that consumption up for this generation just shows you that there's been a huge shift.
Oh, for sure. I think that I feel like since we've been in the situation we've been in for the last couple of years, I think people have started to pay attention to their bodies and health, and listen to their bodies more. And so it was kind of an interesting thing, because I launched Frenchie in the beginning of the pandemic, and I wanted to just connect with people on my experiences through living a cleaner lifestyle and mental health. And I think a lot of people were on that journey with me, that I was like surprised that people connected with it so quickly. So I feel like, we're all kind of moving into, what makes us feel good versus what makes us feel bad, which I think is always a positive.
And I like your attitude of do what makes sense for you, right? It's not like you have to do this diet or that diet. It's, hey, there's probably a mixed match of what's going to work for your lifestyle. Why are you on a mission to make wellness more approachable, understandable, and affordable? Because, sometimes it can cost a lot of money to eat, all organic food, for instance. And so people are like, oh, eating healthy means I need a big bank account,
Yeah. And I think that that's where I felt like there was just this kind of, I guess like for me, I felt that we were being taught that like, if it's not, if it's non-toxic, it's expensive because of like the Goops of the world, which I'm a huge fan of Goop, but I think it's expensive. So I can only imagine someone who's following me thinks, so I was just like, wait, no, there's definitely other brands out there and products out there that are clean and non-toxic that maybe people just don't know about yet. And it's not like we have to go from, yes, it's great to have some organic foods, but you're not that is going to break the bank if it's all organic, and I think that it's really just about balance, and it's about moderation. It's when I met with a bunch of different people, before I launched Frenchie, I was meeting with holistic doctors and regular physicians, and they all talked about the moderation and balance of everything. And so I think for me, I just made it my mission to really just talk about living a cleaner lifestyle in balance, and being like, I have some candles that are not non-toxic, and that's okay, but I also have clean candles. And it's about just making better choices versus going all in, because that's where it gets pretty expensive.
Yeah, the extremes, I think, get not only expensive, but it's really hard to keep up that lifestyle. Whereas something in between, I think, is kind of easier, especially because it's very hard to say, hey, like completely adjust your lifestyle in 24 hours, right? Like anyone
it's also like that approach is like a diet where you will tend to go back to what you used to do. And so making lifestyle changes always are like, go slow, and then you kind of commit to it more. for me, like one of the first things I did was switch to a clean deodorant. And so that was something that I felt was an easy one for me to do, and why I felt, I was like, okay, yeah, this makes so much sense. So that was the first thing I did years ago. And I haven't gone back since. So, and of course you have to try all different deodorants and see which ones work through when you're sweating, because
you just press reorder.
yes. So, but I think it's just kind of making better and healthier choices.
And what's your best piece of career advice?
My best piece of career advice is just to, in anything that you do, know that it's going to take hard work. Don't think it's going to come easy, and believe in yourself.
Well, that's great advice. And thank you so much for being on the show.